Hello.
Well, hello. Welcome to the Driving Monk's car, Mr.
Thank
Lucas.
you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you know, we go to a little bit of effort.
Why
We had to drive so far to
not?
get
What was
here.
it? 500 meters?
I think it might have been less, actually. Yeah. As in, you live so close to where we were that I forgot that we had to get in a car to come here because it was so outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I think is there a trend to how you're picking your guests? Maybe.
Yeah, within a
Starting,
particular radius.
Branch out.
Yeah,
You're doing well.
that's how we do it. So I have some Milton McCaffrey themed question cards, but
Excellent.
we'll get to those. But what I wanted to start with
Mm.
is talking about where were you born?
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
Right,
Mercy
CBD.
Hospital.
Oh, no, right, in a hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, so not in the city.
No.
So
yeah.
you lied.
Well, it's a hospital in the city.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I even know Mercy
Doctor
Hospital.
and everything. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
a doctor. And you've been in Melbourne since then?
No, I lived in Gisborne most of my life.
Okay.
A bit north. People
Mhm.
think it's country, but it's not really
No,
that country.
It's pretty far away.
Yeah?
Yeah, I knew another actress from Gisborne, and once I looked up how far away it was on Google Maps, and I
Yeah?
went, why do you come and work for me in the city?
I don't know. I mean, everyone has a pig as a pet, don't they? That's
Yeah.
normal.
I think so.
That's
Well, if by
city
normal
suburb.
you're comparing yourself to George Clooney, absolutely.
Excellent.
He keeps pigs.
Does he?
Yeah, that wasn't a
No
joke.
way.
No, I was being
Really?
serious. Don't laugh at what I'm
Oh.
saying.
If only I could be that famous and I could have a pig.
As a pet.
That'd be considered normal.
Just on his grounds. So, that's the George Clooney question. I just have a thing, bring up George Clooney. Okay, so you come from essentially the country. You're essentially a country bumpkin.
Essentially.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And you worked in construction, and I believe
I still work in construction.
you still work in construction. Okay. What was it about acting, other than obviously being an extremely emotional person, what was it about acting that called to you, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't done it through school.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened with my case was there was a local production going of The Breakfast Club,
Mm-hmm.
and at a local theatre house, and a family friend was affiliated with that mob, and they told me about it, and I just sort of thought, I'll try it for this role for Bender, and I just learnt the lines, went and did it, and I got the part like a few days later, and then I just went from there.
How old were you?
I was 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was your first kind of exposure to acting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy when you think, like, most actors that I've met and talked to, it's like, I came out of the womb and I was singing. Like, that's what they're like.
I still had my doubts before I even auditioned for it, and
Mhm.
I was parked at the front thinking, it'd be a bit easy to just go home. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Spoke to them, and they told me about all sorts of different ways you can go about getting into acting for film. It's like Star Now, free websites where you can put a profile up. And so I got into that, and that's when I still the same sort of process of like feeling, should I audition, if I was good enough or whatever. And I just sort of started going for those unpaid sort of gigs and doing student films, and from there I was just sort of like, this is something that I want to try more of and do more of and experience more. Yeah,
Favorite color?
purple.
I
There
think.
might have been a connection with Grimace, I don't know, like in early days.
Okay.
Happy Meals and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
Isn't he like a baddie though?
A baddie, no, he's joyful. He's so
He's
jovial.
baddie.
The hamburger.
Hamburglar.
Yeah.
I don't really keep up with McDonald's things.
It's a Gisborne thing. It's a country thing.
I think it might be.
Right.
One of the things that I've kind of I noticed about you when you auditioned for me was that you didn't have some of the, I guess, tics of an actor who's been intensively trained.
Oh, okay.
You came in very naturalistically because I guess you may not have a full bag of like acting tricks that you can call on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How then, when you get stuck, how do you approach that? How do you get yourself out of that situation?
Maybe it's better that I haven't had training. It's just a simple thing of how would you feel if you're in that situation, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And just not so much trying to draw on other experiences, but just thinking like, if I was really that sad, how would I deal with it? And that's sort of why I try to be natural with how I'm doing it, because it's just there's no point in saying I'm going to be sad now. It's just going to be I'm going to react to this situation, however it is. So if it's over the top, it is. If it's not, you didn't demand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it's another George Clooney question. George Clooney or Megan Gale?
Depends. Dinner. George Clooney.
It doesn't say. No.
Sex.
Dinner? I don't know.
George Clooney.
Yeah. Correct. 10 points.
Mm.
Oh, it's a quiz.
Okay.
I should check what the purple was. There's only 5 points for purple.
Okay.
You should have said chartreuse.
I didn't know that was a colour.
It is. I can't remember what colour it is, but I know it's one. What did you think of our comedy festival show, The Incredibly Satisfying Adventures of Milt McCaffrey, P.I., which has just finished?
Well, I saw it and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's correct. 5 points. Let's not point out when this was filmed. I think that's the best idea.
Yeah.
So I'd like to talk to you about your smash hit film, Monster Pies. Monster Pies I'm referring to as your film because, from what I understand, in my extensive research that I actually did, this is the first interview that I've done any research for.
Brilliant.
Thank you. You contributed to the financing and the finalising of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
What prompted that decision?
It was sort of a case of seeing the footage that Lee Galea, the director, had put together in the weeks following wrapping. So he started telling me about what was going to be done, colour grading, composing music for it, all that sort of thing, and the costs of it and everything, and how much he could afford and that sort of thing. And it wasn't. He didn't like in his case go, "Nah, need some money," but it wasn't anything like that. He was just telling me about it, and I just sort of said, "Look, I've got some some money saved up. I wouldn't mind chipping in and that sort of thing." And he had always talked about he's been doing filmmaking for 13, 14 years, and hoping to eventually go to a stage where he could, get investors for his films and that sort of thing. So this is sort of like a form of that, I guess. And
Sure.
I just said, I'll help out in whatever way I can. Gave a small amount, small compared to how much he put into it, but
Sure.
Yeah.
If you had to have a mullet, would it be a front mullet or a back mullet?
Ooh, front, I think. 'Cause you just almost what you got going on there. You just keep it over your eye and just give subtle looks.
That's really offensive.
Yeah.
So negative 5
No,
points.
not at all.
Negative 5 points.
I didn't say it wasn't a good thing. I wish I had a front mullet.
No.
Put it that way.
It's going to be hard for me to continue the interview now.
Not at all.
In regards to Monster Pies, how did you come to that film?
Star Now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, the sort of website where you can put your actor's profile on. He got in contact with me and said, I'm looking for a lead actor for my film. He'd already cast the other male lead in the film and contacted me and said, I'm looking for a lead in this film. And I'd done, I think, 2 short films. One is like a sort of bit character and the other one was like a featured extra. And he said, I like your look or whatever on your page. Do you want to talk about this film? And that was another one of those moments where I didn't really know anything about it, but it was sort of like one of those moments of, do I really want to act in that sort of thing, do I go and meet a person never met before sort of thing. And I don't know if no one knows about it. It's sort of it's a film featuring, it's a story of two schoolboys who fall for each other. One's sort of not openly gay, but to himself he knows sort of who he is, and the new boy comes to school being my character William, and they sort of form this friendship over the time of doing a school project together.
Was that real? I imagine that would have been quite confronting. Yeah,
definitely. I think it probably almost helps. I think that he was straight as well because he was sort of dealing with the same sort of thing. It was like, well, this is the story, and that's probably the one thing that sort of got me for the role. I mean, the story was one thing, but also Lee, when he was telling me about the story, if it had been anyone else, I don't know if I would have done it or not.
It's recently premiered at the Melbourne Queer Film Festival.
It did.
To a rapturous critical reception.
Yes, yep, sold out, which
Congratulations.
Was good. Thank you.
Very big congratulations. Lighter or match?
Match.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
It's only 1 point in these ones.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have a bionic ear or a bionic eye?
Ooh. Bionic ear.
I ask the tough questions.
Yeah. Eavesdropping.
good thinking. Really good thinking.
Yeah, big fan of that.
I'm really interested in the fact that you took on producing as an actor,
Yeah.
but I don't have too much more commentary about it.
Would you like me to elaborate?
If you want to,
Sure.
you can come up with some questions and then answer them.
I'll just go straight to the answering part.
Okay.
Does that work? In story form.
Okay.
Once
If
I
you want to do it that way.
once
guess.
I sort of helped him out with the sort of the paying of it, I sort of got pretty heavily involved with the with all the editing and stuff as well.
Mhm.
And there were a fair few dramas that sort of came with it that I sort of didn't really think would at first. When I first sort of said, "Oh, I'll help you lend some money," I was like working full time trying to like do other editing. Just take my money, just do it. Like, sort of thing. But but I sort of got over that and thought, oh no, you got to sort of, if you're investing in it, you got to sort of look after your investment, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Lee would sort of, he'd constantly edit, and I'd always be saying, just, is that it? That's that's it. That's done. Good film. And he's edited it to the point where I think final edit he did about a day before it was locked off and made into a DCP, which is a file for cinemas and stuff like that. And
I know what that is.
I was telling the audience. Come on.
Who cares about them?
And so he's editing right up until like the very end, and every change he made, even including that last one, was for the better of the film, and it's improved, 200%.
What is next for you?
Monster Pie's getting released.
Yep.
There's a bit, the sort of things in the works for possibly maybe getting it distributed and maybe trying to sort of get it out there and get some money back.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to.
That's why we all make films, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm in it for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about the love, but really
not working out.
Yeah. No.
No, not yet.
What are you talking about?
I know, candelabras. It's candlesticks.
This is high society.
They're not candelabras, they're candlesticks.
But yeah,
Try to make it sound good.
Monster Pies. That'll come out. See what happens with that, and then there's a couple of things I'd done over the past sort of year that I'm sort of looking at. Yeah, that maybe something might happen with, and
waiting for us to finish one of them.
Yes, one in particular.
One in particular.
There's a couple of things like that, and so waiting for that. And at the moment I'm just cruising with work.
When you're in construction, is it mostly carpentry that you're doing, or is it like buildings?
It's buildings. Yeah.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Linehan.
Really?
Yeah.
1 point. Lucas Linehan, everybody. Lucas Linehan.
Thank you.
Actor, builder of things, mostly buildings, apparently.
Big ones.
Big ones. And, I just wiped that for you. And producer of pornography. Thank you so much for joining us in the Driving Monks car. You received a total of 35 points, which I arbitrarily awarded after forgetting your scores all throughout the interview.
Top of the leaderboard, though, you'd say?
No one else has won any points, so you're definitely in the lead.
Excellent.
Because this is a conceit I have used only once. Yes, please.
Thank you.
Have a lovely life. If you want to check out more interviews like this or Driving Monk's other series, Ladies Corner, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, the link to which will appear somewhere on the screen. You can also find us at www.drivingmonks.com, facebook.com/drivingmonks, twitter.com/drivingmonks. I believe we're also on Instagram and other social medias of some description, the links of which may or may not appear somewhere on the screen now.